but the goal sands is raised. Everyone here knows what that could mean to this football club.
Well, good morning, Bournemouth fans. Hope you're doing all very well on this Wednesday morning. My name is Sam Davis.
And I'm Morgan Scott.
And look, it is a match where Cherries can keep up their astounding form versus a Preston side that have yet to win on the road all season. Morgan, it's a banker, a surefire win, but I suppose against Preston, it could be a performance that needs to be anything but the ordinary, boys. That's a joke there. If you're into your noughties rock, Morgan, you probably haven't even heard of them, have you?
No, absolutely not.
No, I didn't think you had. Anyway, good morning, people. Hope you're right. Welcome to Matchday here on Back of the Net. It's not quite breakfast, but let's face it. Do I have time to create a Matchday morning graphic? Not sure I do. It's a potential banana skin today. Morgan, when you look at the league table, you'd have to say that Bournemouth should be winning it, right?
Bournemouth should be winning. You look at that, I think what proves it in itself is we haven't lost the game all season. You look at all win in that little column, which is lovely to see. And I can't see us slipping up. I thought against the Royals, I thought we played okay. I wouldn't say it was the best by any means. I thought in the first half we were slow to get going. But then we got over the line by 2 goals. And it was just really good to see. We got the options on the bench now. Lewis coming back as well. Jamal Lowe chipping in with a couple of goals when he's not always in contention to start from the off. So it's really exciting. And I think it's only going to get better. We bring the likes of maybe a few more people in January as well. Competition's tough for Scott Parker at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And thank you to everyone that's viewing. We appreciate this is at an awful time of day at 11 o'clock. But what it does for us, it keeps all our YouTube stuff we're doing on the same day. So we're not doing content on Tuesday and then Wednesday, and then we'll do something on Thursday. It's all on the same day. So I appreciate you joining us. And whether you're watching this live or you're catching up later on in the day, hopefully this will be a good little warmer upper for what should be a chilly night at Dean Court. And you'll certainly have to wrap up warm because, I went outside earlier for a bit of a walk and, pretty chilly. So what's coming up on today's show? Well, we've got the team news and an injury roll call. We also take a closer eye at the opposition with the help of YouTuber extraordinaire Ben from BenHD channel as well. We go through your thoughts and predictions for tonight's show. We also choose the all-important starting 11 as well. And hopefully we'll have your help on chat as well. And if you want to take part, the drill is the same as ever. You can see just below me, there's a link there, afcbpodcast.com/take part. Tonight, we are live on Sky. It is on the red button only, which means that if you're in the UK, single camera angle, no replays. Horrible. But you can pay the tenner to AFCB TV, have the dulcet tones of Chris Temple and co, get replays, and also have a multiple camera setup as well. So go to afcb.co.uk to get on that. Morgan, shall we get started?
I think we should. Let's do this.
So as it's a very quick turnaround, no presser this week, is that right?
Yeah, absolutely. But Chris Mepham spoke and previewed ahead of the game against Preston this evening. He started Neil Parrott from AFCB TV started by asking Met about the news break for David Brooks' diagnosis when he was in the Wales camp, and Met said that they had been to a few of the lads went over to have a coffee with Brooksy and show him some support and just have a bit of a laugh and just talk normally and try and keep him in good spirits. And I think that's really good to see that they're obviously still bonding, even though the situation with Brooksy isn't great. And obviously we've seen so much love and support for David Brooks on social media in the last few days and since the news has broken about his recent diagnosis. So yeah, everyone's still behind Brooksy. And then he went on to kind of about social media as well, Sam. I don't know if you remember last season, he got slated after the Brentford game, and there was quite a lot of hate towards David Brooks. Chris Mepham, and he just had at the moment, obviously everything's all positive, and you can kind of you take the positives but you don't take the negatives, and he spoke really highly and professionally. I don't know if you saw the interview he did with Chris Temple when he did have the hate, but I thought he spoke really well throughout that as well.
Yeah, he did, and I thought that, you know, one of the sort of things that he said that really struck me, he seemed really selfless, and he was talking about his bit because he played left back for what, 20 minutes or 25 minutes. He came on after 70 minutes against Reading, playing left back, a position that he's not really used to. He's played right back a few times, even for AFC Bournemouth, and he said the words, "I don't really expect to be playing," and that kind of attitude, I'm not sure we'd have seen that last season, because it felt like the players expected to be playing. Whereas this season, it seems that there's more of a team mentality. And look, he's a player that could feature tonight. We don't quite know, but we think there are going to be some changes. But what about the team news, injury news? Do you know what's going on?
Well, obviously they were quite. Jordan Samora was eventually forced off with an ankle injury after incident with Josh Lawrence. I think they're going to try and see if they can get through the next couple of games with the international break coming up. Obviously, I'm not sure if some more has been called up to the Barbary with the game coming thick and fast. There's quite a lot going on with AFC Bournemouth at the moment. Gary Cahill went down, and I thought he did quite well to get through the rest of the game, if I'm honest with you. I'm pretty sure he will be fit, but obviously we don't know the insides and outsides. Anything could have happened. They could have had a really good day or two training. I know it's a quick turnaround from Saturday, but we don't know the ins and outs. But I'm pretty confident from what I read from journalists like Jacob Chan, and what a bit of Chris Temple said on Twitter and stuff, that it should be okay and they should just get through into tonight's game. But we'll have to wait and see, and I'm sure we'll talk about it when we go on later and pick the final 11.
Yeah, well, Lloyd Kelly says, according to Dan Rose from the Daily Echo, that him and his defensive teammates have recovered well from the knocks that they picked up. But I think there are going to be some changes, probably one notable one in midfield, and maybe one of our attacking wide men. As for Jordan Zamora as well, I think he would probably prefer to keep him in, but we'll see what we think about that. But, Lloyd Kelly, in his own words, says all of us have recovered well. So I'm not sure if any changes will happen tomorrow. Right. We got Billy Day, we got Robert, we got Aaron standing by. But before that, let's see who's on chat. We got Chris Hubble here. Morning, Chris. Hope you're doing all right. Bob Street's ready. Aaron K's ready, both in chat and in person. Superb. Billy Day, as we said. Also, we've got Heather. Morning, Sam. And Morgs. Hi, Heather. Hope you're doing all right. Morning, everyone. Says creative inspiration. I'd love to know your actual name. I think you might have said it before. Let us know. TJ's here. Dave King. Morning, mate. Hope you're doing all right. Layla's there. Yeah, maybe we should be calling this brunch. Maybe it shouldn't be sort of croissants. Maybe it should be something else. I don't know. Maybe some like cinnamon whirls or something. I don't know. We'll probably have to work something out there. JJG's here. Bob Street. We got Ellen here. Morning. Hope you're all right, Ellen. We got Paul. We should win it, but we are AFCB and we slip up when you don't expect it. Rob's watching. Love it, Rob. Mark Cole's here too. We'll get some more messages on as we go through the show. But I think it's only right we start off with Billy Day, who's here. Billy, how you doing, fella? You all right?
Yeah, you're all right. Morning all. How are you all doing?
Mate, I mean, we say this word pretty much before every team we play. Banana skin. Are you sensing that from today or not really?
Oh, sorry. I just had a phone call come through my phone. So I didn't catch that.
Banana skin. Is this one of those games?
Yeah, no, sorry. Hang on. My headphones going. You have to 10 seconds, double down. I'll be back in a sec.
No worries. I love the priority that people have got in their lives. But Aaron K, he's put his phone on flight mode, I swear. You right, Aaron?
Morning, chaps. You all right?
Yeah, very well, thanks.
As I asked Billy, is this a game you're worried about, Aaron?
I worry about every game. So far, I think I said before Stoke, I said before Reading, even Huddersfield. These are banana skins. We keep saying it. Some game are going to come a cropper, not play particularly well as we can do. Preston, I think we got a horrific record against them in recent years, anyway. But under the lights at Dean Court, I expect us to win. It does depend for me on how many changes are made or how many changes are forced on us. I think defensively, I think we can all cope if one of them's out. If 2 or 3 of them are out, then I think that's a bit of a difference. So I think a lot depends on that. But see, I'm feeling confident, clearly, based on, as Morgan said earlier, based on the form guide and everything else. I think Preston's away record this year has been poor, which is opposite to last season. So everything points to another Bournemouth win. But who knows?
But Morgan, I mean, yeah, like Aaron sort of alluded to, I mean, players were hobbling off the pitch, it felt like. And, you know, Jordan Zamora didn't look too great. And then he got up. We all thought he was going to go off. Gary Cahill went off for a bit for some treatment, but he got through the game. What about today? It looks like there probably will be some changes, but on the evidence that we've seen, especially against Reading, when players do slot in now, we got nothing to worry about anyway.
Yeah, I think that's really interesting. I think the fact that when he brought Mepham on at left back, and this isn't to seem disrespectful, I was kind of thinking for the last 20 or so minutes, what are you kind of like? I didn't personally get it, and then I thought after I had you on the cam outside the ground, and I thought Mepham did okay, and he looked really comfortable there for the last 20 minutes, and we came under a bit of pressure in the last 20-25 minutes into added time and stuff. But I thought Meps did a really solid job, and it just goes to show the attitude about the squad. He doesn't matter if he's playing his normal position in the centre back role, where at the moment he's not going to get in because Cahill and Kelly are electric, but he can play either right back or left back, and that's just beneficial to help one of the fullbacks like Jay-Z when he came off because he couldn't carry on, or Jack State if he can't carry on, obviously Smithy got a slight issue still. So it's just really good to have these options and the strength in our squad. As I said many and many times, it's just incredible.
And one of the changes that lots of people are suggesting could be made is in the midfield, Aaron. Do you think Ben Pearson's likely to be starting today?
Yeah, I think I would play him today. I think Gavin Kilkenny's been superb recently. He was crowded out a bit against Reading and was, you know, a bit outnumbered in there. So I think, you know, Parker clearly trusts both of them. Obviously Lewis Cook as well is coming back to fitness, but I'd be very surprised if he starts in the next few weeks. So for me, Pearson comes in for sure. I think Preston are quite a physical team. It's obviously his former club. That's not to say Kilkenny doesn't deserve his place, but I think, you know, chop and change a bit. Wouldn't surprise me if again Gavin comes back in on Saturday. So yeah, I would think Ben will be in there. Just coming back to what Morgan said before about Chris Mepham. Obviously he came on at left back at Reading. We didn't have any really other options. And Meps has been superb this season. But if Zamora is out tonight, it'll be a big statement against Leif Davis if Mepham plays left back, or even Robbie Brady if I don't know how fit he is. Because Meps can do a job. He did a job for 20 minutes. I'm just wondering for a whole 90-minute game how comfortable he is on that left-hand side. And again, Mepham clearly deserves his chance ahead of the others. But in that left back position, it would be very telling if Jordan is out that Leif Davis doesn't even get a look in there.
Yeah, that's right. And apparently, according to some sources as well, Robbie Brady is approaching match fitness as well. We know that he can do a job there as well. One of the other positions that's up for debate as well is on the left-hand side, maybe Jamal Lowe in for Anthony, Aaron. And we saw how quickly he can have an effect. And he's probably a little bit more potent than what Jaden Anthony is. But do you think he would risk having a complete change on that left side?
Well, yeah, it's a question for Scott. Obviously, I think I would play Lowe tonight. I think he deserves his chance. I think again, nothing against Anthony, but a rest does anyone ever, you know, a good. They work extremely hard. Those wide players, really, really hard. Hopefully Ryan Christie, you know, he was hobbling a bit at the end as well, having played 90 minutes. So hopefully he's integral. So hopefully he plays. But yeah, I would change it up. I think Jamal Lowe, as you said, does offer more of a goal scoring threat. You know, he's a natural goal scorer. He's scored lots of goals last season. He's obviously got more experience and he's fresher. And perhaps if Zamora is out, then that partnership with Zamora and Anthony would have to be broken up anyway. So there's a chance for that. But I would actually play Lowe tonight anyway, and then again look to freshen up maybe on Saturday.
I just got to do a big huge shout out to Paul Spicer. You've probably seen a tweet to this effect, wishing him well. Obviously chatted to him on the vlog if you've seen it. in the world turned upside down before the game against Reading, and he went off to the stadium, and all I thought was good, apart from half time where I spoke to Jamie Williams, who he was with. He said he broke his leg, and it was a rather nasty break as well, with things going off into angles that I don't even want to talk about. Steve Hensman and Tom Jordan unfortunately had to witness it, as well as Jamie Williams. He's been in the Royal Berkshire Hospital. Paul, hope you're all right, mate, and on the mend. I've had it myself, a clean break of my arm. You could probably see a scar there, and that was through slipping on a wet floor in a pub. And I wasn't drunk. Didn't have any alcohol, so I know what it's like to have a clean break. And it's really not very nice. But credit to you, very selfless for you to tell Jamie, look, enjoy the game, mate. And so that was for you, that 2-0 win, I'm certain. But mate, I hope you get well soon, buddy. And look forward to seeing you at a game very, very soon. If you've got Sky Sports Now TV, you will be able to get a stream, okay, for tonight's game. So hope you managed to see that. And best wishes to you, sir. So Morgan, Preston North End, we know a little bit about them, and we're going to get some opposition insight a bit later on. But last season, they caused us a bit of a shock, did they? I mean, 3-2 with a wonder goal from Sinclair as well. That was a horrible game.
It was horrible, to be fair, and it's not a game that I enjoy remembering, if I'm honest, Sam. So thank you for that. But no, I think the difference between I don't want to concentrate too much on that. Although you said that they do cause us a problem, and I'm sure they might come and try that tonight. It depends who's up for the game the most. But I just think at the moment, under the current circumstances, I don't know about you, but I think not only are we playing well, not only have we got this team bond, which is incredible, I think we're getting a little bit extra out of every single player since the diagnosis from David Brooks. I think they're given that extra 10-20% at times when they're tiring maybe, and they're running their heart out for Brooksy. And that's not to say take it all away from them, but I think that's just a load of factors. And under Scott Parker, he's getting his tactics spot on. He knows when to make the correct changes. He knows when to go attacking. He knows when to go defensive. We saw it against Reading. Jamal Lowe came on. We saw it when, obviously, in certain games when he'd bring Mep on and he'd change the formation. It's just incredible. So we got to concentrate on tonight. But yeah, they could cause us some problems. But at the moment, I'm still bang on confident because we're so professional at the moment.
Absolutely. I'll get a prediction of Aaron very shortly. G'day to Aid, who's here as well. And Paul Spicer's on chat saying he's on the mend. He's home later today and he'll be watching the live stream. So that's really good to see. And I don't know if that was a leg related joke on purpose, Robert, but he's going to be ready for the return match. I'm absolutely certain. Go on then, Aaron. What's your prediction?
Yeah, given everything despite everything I've said before, if we turn up, I think we'll win the game. Hopefully, there's not wholesale changes, as we say, forced on us. I'm going to go for 3-1. I know we don't concede goals, but I just think let's throw that in there so that when it does happen, we're not all surprised. They might even take the lead, but I think we'll come back quite strongly, and I think we'll win comfortably 3-1 in the end.
Excellent. And that goes along with the stat that Bournemouth haven't actually scored less than 2 in any home game this season. So a minimum of 2 goals today. I'm certainly going for a 2-goal. I don't know if I'm going to go for a 2-0 or a 3-1 yet, but I'm sure Sammy now will be happy with the 3-1. But Aaron, thanks very much for coming on. Really appreciate it, buddy.
Thanks, guys. Maybe see you later.
Yeah, we'll do. We'll do. Nice to see you on chat. See you at Dean Court very later on. So Billy Day, hotline with your phone, mate. You're right.
Really busy. Just really trying to relieve over the weekend. It was such a mad game. It was so special, really. So it would be such a Bournemouth thing now if we go lose today. But I've still got the confidence higher. I feel like we'll cruise through it.
We seem to have the mentality, and I love the way that Scott Parker, as Neil Dawson said on the second look, like he seems to be very cool and composed, and he doesn't get too ecstatic when we win. And I mean, I can't say the same for when we lose, but even when we have drawn games, he seems to be very level-headed, and having that kind of stability off your manager in the dressing room must be good. But I think the camaraderie within the team that Scott Parker has instilled, it's it's visible on the pitch, isn't it? Like, especially when, Dom Solanke scores his goal and everyone's running over to him. it's a team effort. Whereas last season, you got to say, if a few individuals weren't there, we'd have been screwed.
Yeah, no, Parker's definitely proven me wrong. I feel like when he was first announced, I was very unnervy. He did get Fulham promoted. He had a tough season when they're relegation, but he's definitely proved me wrong. He definitely has, and 15 games undefeated now. It's a big thing to hold on to. So we've just got to stick together and just take game by game, really.
Yeah. Absolutely. If you were a Preston fan, I mean, obviously, the media is starting to like pick up finally on how well we're doing. Because for a while, Billy, it almost felt like we were going under the radar, even though we were points clear. But now a lot of people are starting to talk about us now. If you were a Preston fan and you had to single out one player as being the one to look out for AFC Bournemouth, who would you tell them?
I tell them straight. What a Bournemouth player, you mean?
Yeah. Just one player that is the one. I mean, it's very difficult, isn't it? But if you had to,
it really is. Yeah. If really straight out, I pick up Ryan Christie. His creativity. We've basically got a new Scottish winger. I'm not going to say his name, but he's quality. He's got skills. He can find crosses in. He's our new assist maker, and that's what we've needed for a while.
Absolutely. Billy Day, thanks for coming on, mate. Really appreciate it. What's your prediction for tonight, mate?
I'm going to go straight here. I'm going to go 1-0 to us. I think Dom will get one just before half time.
Excellent. Right. This is now being vlogged as well, guys. Right. So we're trying to mix up our vlog for home games. I've said this on the vlog as well today, that I think it's a little bit formulaic because it's the same routine. I'm going into the 1910 bar, chatting to the same people. I go in the North Stand. I say, "Oh my God," or "Get in" when we score. That's just my default reaction. So everyone on chat, do a thumbs up, do an emoji, and then you'll be recorded and put on the vlog because I can see the live chat on my screen as well. So make sure you do that. And if you see me roving around with this tonight and you're not usually one of the people that come on, just why not come on? Because it's good to get lots of different people on the show. And I'm seeing people starting to leave their emojis there already. So thank you very much. Billy Day, cheers for coming on, mate. Really appreciate it.
Thank you. Take care. See you later. Take care, lads.
Up the cherries. I suppose we better talk a little bit about Preston. And we've also got Kirk and Robert standing by as well. So Shall we talk about the opposition, Morgan?
Yeah, let's do this.
Right, I'm going to bring Robert and Morgan on at the same time, and Kirk on at the same time. And I don't know the way this is going to place people, so someone is going to have a sausage in their face. Sorry about this. Is it going to be Robert? No, he'll be all right for now. I think it's going to be Kirk. Oh, it's Robert! It's Robert! You got away with that one, Kirky.
Absolutely. I thought you were going to do me there.
How are you, mate? You all right?
Yeah, not too bad. I haven't been on the last couple, so I thought I'd pop on this morning. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's league position, stats, form, everything dictates that it should be easy for Bournemouth, but we know what we're like, or do we? Like, have I not got enough faith in these boys, even though they're like 15 games unbeaten? I still get worried, or is that just a Bournemouth mentality?
Yeah, same here. I mean, a flawless October. It was fantastic, wasn't it? But I think we had the first sign potentially at the weekend that is, if there's something's going to trip us up, will it be potentially injuries? I don't think it will, but we are going to need to manage those situations because you will have them. But let's see what happens this evening. Maybe a few changes forced. But, Preston, they came to the Vitality last season and surprised us a little bit, didn't they? Under different management. I think we've got a better manager with better tactics this time around. So I don't see us losing. I think the teams that come to Dean Court need to score at least 3 goals to beat us and at least 2 to draw. So based on that theory, I still don't think we lose tonight.
Robert, are you feeling as confident as Kirk is?
Yes, I'm really confident. I don't think we will lose. Like, we are looking really, really good. And you said that it is kind of because of Brooksy. And I really feel it is because of Brooksy, because the boys are fighting for their lives. It feels like if you lose, you die. Like, genuinely, like, we are playing amazing right now. We are like only 2 teams in England are unbeaten: Liverpool and Bournemouth. How? I'm still surprised. How?
Yeah, we do, and I just wait for the day that Liverpool. I mean, they're playing Atletico tonight in the Champions League, but that don't really count. It's all about the
Yeah.
league matches, isn't it? So I'm just praying for them to slip up. But you know what? Will it be tonight? I don't know. But we know what Preston did last season, but they don't seem to be the same side. And later on, Kurt, we'll be speaking to BenHD on this channel about what he thinks about them. But as I said to Morgan, last season's game against them was a bit of a shock. And I think part of the reason was that we were quite complacent. But I just get the impression that Scott Parker, complacent isn't even his vocabulary.
No, we were all over the place last year. I can remember the game. Some of the goals we conceded. I think we actually conceded a goal and we had a free kick in their half and they ended up counter-attacking us. Oh. And we had like 5 players going towards the crosser and leaving 2 players at the back post. It was all over the shop. We ain't going to give away goals like that, and we don't even give away goals anyway. So we'll be absolutely fine. I'm sure of that. But, they have got some players in their side that on their day could be a threat. You've got the likes of Emil Rees, who I think's got 7 goals for Preston this season. Bark Hazen had a pretty good day out at Vitality last season. Daniel Johnson is a technically very, very good left-footed player, but he has been sitting on the bench for them the last few games. And Scott Sinclair wasn't even in their side at the weekend. So, yeah, their squad's okay. They didn't have a great start to the season. They seem to have turned that round a bit and got a few results. But as I said, I'm quite comfortable. I think I said a few weeks ago that the Championship might bite back at some point. But we're in a good place, and it's all dependent on what players potentially start tonight. We could see 2 or 3 forced changes, so that'll be interesting.
But Robert, we're the team to beat. We're the team to beat, and teams are surely going to be hugely up for this. At some point, we will lose this season. Well, I mean, I think so. Do you think teams have got that sort of extra bit of motivation, or do you think it's almost like when we're in the Premier League and we're playing Man City and we're almost travelling up to them thinking it's a free hit? Do you think Preston might be coming down thinking that?
No, I have a feeling that they're coming to Vitality Stadium and they're not thinking, oh yeah, we really want to beat them because we want to end that streak. No, I have a feeling that, remember last season when we were used to playing, we were playing against like Brentford. We were always going to Brentford and we were like, oh my God, let's hope it's going to be a draw. They are feeling the same right now, but they are feeling even worse because we are on top. They are almost on bottom, really. So, yeah, I think they are scared of us.
Sam, I saw a tweet the other day that said, how many games do you think Bournemouth can go unbeaten? And I said, based on what we've done this season, there's no reason why we can't get to 20 unbeaten. That would take us to Fulham away. Now, the only reason I see that changing and not happening is if we have a capitulation in a game, a sending off, or we cause problems for ourselves like we've done previously. This side doesn't generally do that. That's the only way I can see us losing before Fulham if it's our own fault.
Yeah. Oh, God. It seems to be a runaway train, Morgan, doesn't it? Us and Fulham. 9 points over West Brom. Could be more tonight. We don't know. But Fulham have got a tricky fixture against Blackburn. Do you feel as though it's us and them? Do you think as though it's ours to lose?
I think what was interesting, as Kurt was saying then, I think Neil said on the second look about if we could go to Fulham and not have to win, I think that would be a statement. The fact that we're not playing catch up, if we drew 1 or even if we lost, not to sound negative, but it's like, I think you got to remember that Bournemouth are going to slip up at some point and it's just a matter of when. But if we could go to, say, I think Fulham and Bournemouth are going to be the runner. I think 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, whatever, they can sort themselves out. But I think it's going to be between us and Fulham. And I think it would set a statement if we could go to Fulham and beat them. But if we can be in a position where we could slip up or maybe draw against them, I think that would be in a better factor for AFC Bournemouth at the moment.
The key question, though, as someone says on chat, is will the Scotty Parkers be there? How good was it to see them? It was absolutely brilliant to see 3 smartly dressed Scotty Parkers. There's Reese posing for a photo with one of them there. You know what? They need to come to every single match for the rest of the season, I've got to say. Before we go with Kirk, what's your prediction for tonight, mate?
So in the last couple of predictions, I have sort of pushed us that we were going to concede a goal, and we haven't. I'm going to go for 2-0 tonight. So don't blame me if we concede a goal tonight, but I'm going for a clean sheet, 2-0.
All right, mate. Cheers, buddy. Nice to see you. And also, before we let you go, Robert, what are you going for?
I think this will be the end of the clean sheets.
Oh.
It's going to be a 2-1 win for us, not for them.
Excellent. All right. I will take that. I'm happy with that. Cheers, guys, for coming on.
All right. See you this evening, hopefully.
Yeah, time to get an opposition view coming up. Morgan, you love your throat clearing at like the real quiet times in the show, I've noticed. I love it. It's okay. Right. So Preston North End. Do you know much about them? Maybe you do. Well, we spoke to a YouTuber extraordinaire. Now, if you're not following BenHD, we're going to put his link on the live chat, okay? And what I want you to do is do us a favour, because it's brilliant for us to have him on, because he, like Benjamin Bloom, has got a wealth of experience on all things Championship, right? So what I want you to do is subscribe to him once you see the link in the chat. It takes 2 seconds to do, but check out his videos because they're really, really, really good. Earlier today, I spoke to him about his thoughts on Preston North End and also his head versus heart prediction for tonight. So with us, we have YouTuber extraordinaire and North End fan, Ben Stewart. Ben, how you doing?
I'm very well, thank you. Thank you for having me on.
How's your season been so far? Because I'm looking at it and there seems to be a pattern. I mean, away, you haven't won yet, but most of your points seem to be being picked up at home. Is that about right?
Yeah, it's a bit of a weird one to discuss us at the moment, really, because there's been a lot of draws in our season. And I think that when you're drawing a lot of matches, it's tough to properly gauge where you are in context of the rest of the Championship, particularly because of how a lot of those draws have sort of come about. You know, I think that in quite a few of those, you know, the XG has been quite slanted towards the opposition, and we've been lucky to scrape away. And some of them we probably should have got something a little bit more from. But yeah, home form certainly picked up recently with those, you know, 2 wins over Coventry and Luton, but on the road so far, we've just not got going. So yeah, I'm sure you guys will probably be fancying your chances because of that.
We'd like to hope so. However, last season didn't quite work out like that. 3-2 at Dean Court. And look, since then, you got a new manager. So Alex Neil was managing you last season, and then Frankie McAvoy took over. And in his first 8 games, he actually got 17 points out of 24. So yeah, it seemed a no-brainer that he was then to have the job permanently. How's he done so far? Do you think he's done a good job?
It's been a difficult one, really, because I think that if you were to ask any sort of Preston fan at the start of the season, sort of what were our expectations coming into this season, I certainly don't think that anyone was expecting us to be like pushing on the top 6 or anything like that. But what we did want to see was the start of a bit of a process and a system being put in place and the sort of building blocks to go forward. And I think that it's been a little bit frustrating so far by the way we've sort of just like stumbled our way through this system. And I'm hopeful that, you know, with those 2 recent home wins, that those will be the sort of building blocks to sort of build upon and things like that. But yeah, there's still a few things that I feel like he has to iron out because I think the fan base is quite split on him at the moment in terms of if they think he'll be the right man for us long term.
So on your YouTube channel, you cover the Championship extremely well, I've got to say. So obviously you know a lot about AFC Bournemouth. So as someone that follows Preston, who is the player or if you were to pick out a couple of Bournemouth players that you're a bit concerned about for the fixture tonight, who would you say it is?
Yeah, I'd certainly say a couple of your youngsters, particularly down that left-hand side, I think could cause us some problems in this one. I think that in general, because we like to play with this sort of 3-5-2 system, the types of players that have caused us problem so far this season are those players who play quite wide and then like to drift into those central positions and sort of get in those spaces between our midfield and our wing backs and things like that. So someone like a Jaden Anthony, I think will be really good. Ryan Christie as well, who's obviously been fantastic. And probably most of all, Dom Solanke, who has been that guy who's just putting the ball away into the back of the net at the moment. So those players in those sort of forward positions, I'll certainly be keeping an eye out for. And Ben Pearson as well, if he's playing in this one, is always going to be a man, as a Preston fan, who I'm going to be keeping a keen eye out for as well.
Yeah, well, we took a look at the team lineup, and when Gav Kilkenny was named as starting in that position, we thought, oh, right, okay, he's saving Ben Pearson for his old club, which may or may not be the case. We're not too sure. But in terms of ones to watch for you, do you want to go through a couple of players that might cause us a problem?
Yeah, I think so. I think in terms of key performers for Preston this season, you're probably looking at either end of the pitch, to be honest with you. So Emile Reece, he's been fantastic for us. And I think that maybe at times there's even been a bit of an over-reliance on him creating those moments of magic. But if you saw the goal at the weekend he scored against Luton, that's just been him sort of down to a tee at the moment from a really tight angle. Just absolutely leathers it into the back of the net. And I think he is someone who plays off instincts. And when he has a bit too much time to think about something, he can end up overthinking it. But certainly is a player who will look to hurt you on transitions and on counter-attacks. He does have that pace to go ahead and get in behind. He's certainly someone to watch out for. And then probably at the other end of the pitch, Daniel Everson, who's our goalkeeper on loan from Leicester at the moment. We had him on loan during the second half of last season, and I certainly think that a lot of the points we picked up so far this season, thinking back to the draws we've had against Stoke and West Brom and teams like that, a lot of that can be attributed to him, when the opposition will be raining down shots on our goal and things like that. And he's definitely pulled off a few sort of worldies of saves so far. So if we are to get anything out of this one, I certainly think that he'll have his role to play in it for sure.
Obviously, league positions may dictate that, Bournemouth are the favourites for this. So I'm going to give you a chance for a head and a heart prediction for the game. What are you thinking, Ben?
Yeah, the logic person in me looks at our away form at the moment and sees how you guys are absolutely flying at the moment. I think that on my channel, I had this one as a 2-0 Bournemouth or something like that. But if I'm going with my heart and I'm thinking back to that Scott Sinclair goal last season.
What a goal that was as well. Wow.
Exactly. One moment of magic can just sort of reinvigorate your season, especially away from home at the moment. So maybe we might be able to sneak something with a Emile Reece goal on the road or something like that, 2-1. But logically, I think you guys are definitely the favourites.
Brilliant stuff. Ben, just before you go, tell us a little bit about your channel.
Yeah, so you can find me over on YouTube at BenHD. Pretty much everything Championship related, really. So previews, reviews, predictions, all that good stuff. And there's always plenty of stuff to talk about when it comes to the Championship, isn't there?
All right, mate. Well, best wishes for the game, and thanks for coming on the channel.
Top stuff. Thanks for having me.
So that's BenHD there. Make sure you subscribe to him. If you haven't, you're a silly, silly person. YouTube.com/BenHD. He is, well, with his heart, he's thinking that Preston could skank a win tonight, mate. But Morgan, I think we probably need to find out what the AFC Bournemouth public think about what they think's going to happen tonight, right?
Yeah, put it on screen for me.
Put it on screen for me. Okay, Master, I'll do that very shortly. But yeah, get your predictions in. We want to know what you think, what the score's going to be tonight. Let us know in chat. Go. Get your predictions in. Just put your predictions now and we'll echo them ASAP. I know that there have been some people previously in the chat that have put it, but we'd have to scroll back a long way to be able to see that. So yeah, put them again and we will put them all on screen. Morgan will go through them shortly. Pubs and predictions. Well, in terms of the pubs, obviously, if you're a Bournemouth fan, you know where to go. If you're not a Bournemouth fan, you might not know where to go. We've got a special away day fans guide. If you go and follow us on Twitter at AFCB podcast, check out our latest tweets. I think the latest tweet actually shows a link to our YouTube channel. What you're possibly watching this on now, where we've got an away fans guide for Preston that shows you where to eat, where to drink, and all that good stuff as well. So make sure you check it out and hope you're having a safe journey down. Many of you Preston fans are probably on the way already. Right. What are people saying tonight then, Morgan?
Chris Hubble's here. Hi, Chris. 3-1 tonight. Robert Hayden 3-1. 3-1 says Adam.
Preston, though. That's a Preston Adam.
Preston.
He's got to be a Lilywhite fan. Adam, fair play. Fair play for saying that, but
play.
nah.
2-0 to Bournemouth, says KJ. Scrappy 2-0, but we'll take a draw, says Heather. AFCB Germany are going with a 4-1 win. Solanke to score twice, and also Anthony and Billen to get one. That would be amazing. 5-0, says Chris. 4-0, says... Is that Gobby Monsters? I'm looking at a phone, so it's not great here.
Gobble monster. Okay.
3-0 says TJ. 2-0 says Rob. 3-0 says Chris Hubble. 2-0 says Howard. 2-0 says Bob. 2-0 from Liam. Rich Neal says, let's hope for 3-0. See you both later. Yeah, we'll do. 2-1 says Jordan.
Who else we got?
Ashley goes 4-0 to Bournemouth. Crispy first goal scorer. Mike Owen here, 2-1 AFC Bournemouth. 3-0 says Hayden.
Well, I think that's it. And also Lucy's watching. She can't. How's she doing this? Hope Shay goes, well, I can't watch today. So you both. How are you doing that? You must be on site. You're at work. Have you got your phone? You shouldn't be doing that, Lucy. Thanks very much. Right, there you go. Those are the predictions. Everyone's really confident today, Morgan. Everyone. George has also come in with a 4-1. So if I had to ask you, Morgan, what are you going for?
Oh, don't do this to me because it's gonna. I'm gonna be really confident. I had 3-0 against Huddersfield for Tom's birthday, and I had 2-0 against Reading, and they both come in. So I'm gonna go for a 3-0 tonight. I'm not gonna predict the scores because that could happen just on their own, but I'm going to go 3-0. What are you going for, Sam?
I don't know. Like, if you're the Preston manager, seeing the way we're playing at the moment, you're sort of thinking, how do I go about this game? Do I attack them? We've got the meanest defence in the league. So it's almost a case of park the bus, slash the tyres, and don't let them in, which I think is going to be a very difficult way to go about it. I think we'll win it. I think we'll keep up that stat of scoring 2 at home. I think it's going to be 2-0, mate. I think it is. Heather, however, wants it to be 3-0 and to see a Phil Bill hat-trick. I saw this really interesting take, actually. I've got to find the tweet, Morgan. I think it was from Chris AFCB, who said something in terms of the actual points tally that we've got so far. At the moment, how many points have we got, mate? We're on, what,
38? 39?
Oh, well, no, I don't know. How many points have we got, guys? But anyway, he said that the average points tally for second is 87. So we're on 37, right? That means that Bournemouth require a further 50 points from the remaining 31 games to get promotion. By way of comparison, Jason Tyndall got 49 points from his 31 games. So, in his words, we'd have to be as bad as Tyndall to not go up.
We're on 37 at the moment, Sam.
Yeah, what a lovely way to put it. We'd have to be as bad as Tyndall not to go up. But yeah, it would be lovely to have Marky Masters. I think this is a work day. He is probably working. But, you know, now that we've done that, I think we need to go through our chosen 11. And this is where you can get involved. And I think this is going to be very, very interesting. Let's do it. So there we go then. Where there is our chosen 11 is there. We'll make that bigger to start off with in a sec, Morgan. But I mean, you know, there are certain players that we absolutely know where they're going to be. But on chat, it's the usual thing. What do they need to do, Morgan? They just need to type out a player's number and then tell us in what position they're going to be in, right?
Yeah, serve it with number. So obviously, Chavs would be player 1 and type in player 1 Chavs.
Yeah, okay, so you've got that. Morgan knows how to do it. He knows. Right, so there you go, guys, on chat. Let's get you nicely involved. And look, we're not going to beat about the bush with certain players, right? And that is one that we know Travers is going to start. And, you know, once again, we've mentioned this on previous shows, Morgan, about a player that look, he had the fewest touches on the pitch that played in 90 minutes. Okay, so he played the whole game, but he had the fewest touches on the pitch. So 23 touches, I think it was, against Reading. But anytime he was called for, he was sharp, and he was alert. Not least, right, the game was starting to like peter out, I thought, on about 80 minutes. Reading, of course, started really well. I think they started to kind of wear out, trying to chase the ball down as we started to dominate the rest of the first half. Second half, I felt we pretty much dominated, and it would be so easy for Travers to almost switch off. But in the 90th minute, in the embers of the game, they have that chance where he pulls off a magnificent save at full stretch. So credit to him. And we looked at him at the start of the season. Now he's got to go out on loan. He's got, he needs more experience. Does he? He's been superb this season, hasn't he?
Yeah, magnificent. Neil Dawson alluded to it on the second look. I think we appreciated it more because it was down our end, and we could give him a clap and support. If it was down the other end, we might have kind of said, "Oh, it's still a brilliant save," which it was, but like it might not have meant as much. So no, it was really good. And do you know what I like? He didn't think like that could have easily gone in. It takes a good keeper to do that. And I think Travers, since Nyland's come in, like obviously Nyland's not had much game time, so we're not sure. But I think Travers has definitely deserved. I know he plays in 42, which is really confusing because he's got the number 1 jersey. But I think he's really, really got this confidence about him. And I'm glad we didn't send him out on loan. I don't know about you, Sam, because I think he's proven wonders right now.
Yeah, he is. And, his distribution's really good. His kicking's excellent. He plays it short when he needs to. I remember when he played in the match against Watford in the Premier League in the relegation season. Watford came and battered us 3-0. Aaron Ramsdale for that game was in the stand. And Travers sort of got in a bit of a tangle at times. And one of the goals was probably down to him. Maybe just he needed to hoof it, but he didn't. But he's sort of making the right decisions. And look, this is experience now, the Championship. And fair play to him. I think he's done well, and he's keeping an experienced keeper in Nyland out. So yeah, Travers for that position. Everyone in chat, player number 5 on screen. That's the right back position. I think we all know, but Morgan, who's your right back?
It's got to be Jack Stacey, for the simple fact that we're just not conceding goals when he's in the starting 11. And to be honest with you, that alone, it's got to put him in at right back. I know obviously Adam Smith I'm not sure what happened to him. I think he's got a slight issue still that Parker alluded to. But yeah, it's got to be Stacey. I completely agree. He's just doing so well at the moment.
Yeah, he really is. People are saying Stacey on chat, and you know what? Ricky's going for Smith right back. I'm not sure Smith will be involved today, so I think it's still going to be, Jack Stacey in there. And then we've got our centre defensive pairing, and this all depends whether Gary Cahill's all right. But it looked like he was. I don't know if it was a dead leg or what, but I thought he was going to come off. At one stage, he looked seriously injured, but he came back onto the pitch. Lloyd Kelly, got in a few scrapes as well. I mean, that challenge, unbelievable to prevent them scoring in the second half. That was a goal-saving challenge, superb. You put his body on the line. But I can't not see Kelly starting. I suppose for Cahill, it just depends whether he's injured or not. Yeah,
absolutely. I think you would shove them in if they are 99% okay and take a chance. I think what a factor, obviously, we have got an international break coming up. For me, Lloyd's definitely in there. I know you said he had a few scrapes and whatever, but I think if you're captain, you don't really want to take him out unless you've got no choice. Cahill would be touch and go. Obviously, we don't know the insights. He might have had a scan. It might be worse. It might be okay. It might just be tonight he has to be rested. But for me, you would throw him straight in, and we'd just have to wait and see at 6:45 when the team sheet comes in. But for me, Sam, I wouldn't take Cahill out unless
play devil's advocate. What happens if Jordan Zamora and Gary Cahill are both crocked? That means Meps would obviously come in, I presume, next to Kelly, and then left back position where he deputised very well actually in the last 20 minutes against Reading. You're thinking, who's going to go there? Is it Leif Davis? Is it Robbie Brady, who they alluded to be quite fit? That would be quite a changed defence. Or, will Adam Smith be all right? We don't quite know. But let's go for Gary Cahill being okay, because Lloyd Kelly, in Dan Rose's article in The Echo, did say that, they're looking to be okay. So let's put him in there. But left back, he's still going with Jay-Z?
I think you're going to have to, on the terms, the fact that he's kind of our best left back that we have available. Like, it's a little bit like what I was saying about Kelly and Cahill. Yeah, I know Cahill was more injured than Kelly, but you don't really want to take them out unless you've got no other chance. So put Jay-Z in there on player 4. I don't know if the chat's going to agree with me on that one, but I think for now you're going to have to take a chance, and hopefully it doesn't prove back. But you said Brady almost fit, so I don't think he'll be in contention. Leif Davey, I haven't seen him anywhere near the squad for a number of weeks now, so it's going to be tricky, but I would go with Jay-Z for now, Sam.
Okay, Jules, and you know what, I probably agree with that, but I do think there will be changes in the midfield. Well, player number 6, I think there will be changes. And look, there's a player that is playing against his former club. Everyone in chat, who's player number 6 going to be for you? I know who I think it's going to be, Morgan.
Is it Alan by any chance?
It's Alan. It's Alan. I think he'll start. I do think he'll start and give like Gav a little bit of a break. But I think
it's
Pearson
really
will be in.
I think I totally agree with you, and I was hoping that we were going to both agree on that. I think actually you were saying on the second look and stuff, Kilkenny when he, I don't think he was too bad against Reading, but I think when obviously he had to make that tackle and he did get booked quite early on you weren't going to take too much of a chance. And I thought when Pearson came on, he settled the game down again. So yeah, for me, it's got to be Ben Pearson or AKA Alan in player 6 for me.
Ethan's going for Alan. Right. Okay. Player 7 and player 8 then. What's everyone saying in chat? Let us know. Because do we need help with this? I mean, in my eyes, I think I know who I would pick. I wouldn't change it. Would you?
No, I wouldn't. I think if you're going to play, I think Billin proven that position again, as you were saying on the other show. I think Billin, we spoke about links well up with Jay-Z and Anthony. I know at some point that might have to change, but Billin's definitely demanding that. And if you're going to play Billin, you've got to play Mr. Lerma. I think with Pearson and Billin, I think they're such a solid 3. And this game's going to be really physical. I don't know much about Preston, but I know they're quite a physical team. So yeah, I really think that Pearson, Lerma and Billin make up a great midfield 3.
Simon K says, posed the question about Marcondes, but the one thing I would say with regards to him is the fact that, he's never brought on even as a substitute. And Billing used to be a luxury player, not so much now because we know how integral he is, but would he risk one previously luxury player with a luxury player in Marcondes in the same side? I don't know. Maybe Pearson would compensate for that being the CDM role, but I would say that would be a hell of a midfield. I mean, Martin's saying no changes for stability, which you could say that. I think Pearson, I don't know. It'll be Pearson or Kilkenny. We're going for Pearson just because it's his former club, and we thought he was going to start the previous one. We just get that feeling, because Kilkenny's such a professional that when he comes in, he does such a good job that this could be a game for him to have a break, and he might be back in for Swansea at the weekend. Ellen's going Jeff and Phil surely can't change that. I get the feeling though that the number 9 position here, of course, this isn't the tactical number 9 position. This is just using our chosen 11 site that we do at the moment. This could see a change on the left-hand side for a person who made an instant impact at the weekend.
Yeah, I would love to get see Jamal Lowe start tonight. I really like what I've seen from Jamal Lowe. He's obviously he had some really good stats. I think 14, 15 goals last season for Swansea, Sam. I think he's a different player to Dom Solanke, but I think Lowe has to start. I think he's come off the bench at Reading and obviously won the game quite comfortably, and also the fact that against Bristol City, I thought for 60, 70 minutes, as I alluded to in other shows, I think he played very, very well. So for me, although Anthony had a fantastic start to the season, there are changes in the Championship. You're playing every few days. It's got to be Low for me. I don't know if you agree with that, Sam.
But then I do take a number of points that have been made on chat as well, especially what Simon says with regards to, which is the more important fixture. And I suppose that's underlined by the fact that Swansea, who played yesterday, beat Coventry City, who were doing pretty well. They beat them at the Rico 2-1. That is a huge game. A lot of people are saying that Jamal Lowe should start in chat. Heather's saying it as well. Steve Connor, and also Guy is here as well saying the same thing. So Yeah, you know what? I think it is going to be interesting to see what happens. I mean, Swansea at the moment, whereabouts are they in the league? They're 10th, but they've won 4 out of their last 5. So whilst it was a poor start to the season, they're doing so much better. Therefore, you've got to say that it's going to be a trickier match on paper than it would be against Preston. And I'm just looking at Swansea's last fixtures that they've had. Of course, they won 2-1 yesterday, also 3-0 at home against Peterborough. Their loss was at Birmingham City, but they won against West Bromwich Albion at home, which is no mean feat. Beat Cardiff City in the South Wales derby there.
I watched that. That was a fantastic. Just to say, Sam, that was a fantastic game. Swansea really, really destroyed Cardiff. I haven't had time to watch a lot of football this season, but it's been other teams. I mean, but I was really impressed. I sat and watched that, and I broke it down into attacking and defensive. And I thought Swansea will cause us problems when they play us on Saturday. If I'm looking at the game myself, obviously I want 6 points. I would take 3 from tonight, and I would take a draw against Swansea. Obviously, I want maximum, but I think Swansea might hurt us, and that could be the slip up, maybe. But we'll have to wait and see.
Which is why you can maybe see why some people are saying what they are alluding to on chat. So yeah, interesting. All right then. So Morgan, player 10 though here on this sheet here. I mean, yeah, look, Christie's been unbelievable for us, hasn't he?
Yeah, I thought they might give it to me tonight. No, I'm only joking. Joking aside, it's got to be Ryan Christie. I think I really like his work energy. I think he's really, really up for it. I think he's physical. I think he's aggressive. I think when you play football, they try to make you win the ball back within 8 seconds. I really like what I see from him, and I think he works so well with Solanke. And if it's Anthony, or I think he'll even work really well with Lowe and Solanke as well. So yeah, Christie's definitely demanding that position. And yeah, he should got to get that goal. I really can't wait for him to score his first Bournemouth goal. Can you?
No, I can't. And surely it's going to happen very, very soon. And then Dom Solanke, of course, up front. So there is our chosen 11. Do you agree? I would ask you to put a thumbs down on this YouTube video, but don't do that. But just give us a thumbs up anyway. But let us know on chat if you disagree with it. Simon's had his say, and I think, you know what? Very interesting points. Very interesting points worth debating here. I think this is probably one of his most interesting lineups for a while, because we've got the international break as well, coming up. So players will get a rest then. But I think each and every lineup as we go on, as we keep on winning matches, is going to become increasingly interesting. So, people are saying Christie no-brainer. Ellen's saying can see him getting his goal tonight. Assisty Christie as well. And Christie needs a goal. Charlie's here. Hi, Charlie. Hope you're all right. Hope to see you later on. Ready to get his hat-trick against Swansea. So some minutes there. So, yeah, we'll keep scrolling down. This is what we're going for, assuming that Cahill and Zamora are fit. So there we go. That is the chosen team. Morgan, what's your plan for match day tonight? How's it? What do you do? Where do you go? Come on, tell us all about it, mate.
Oh, I think we'll have to keep it a secret for now. But now I think maybe a few drinks and maybe a bit of grub beforehand. But yeah, and then maybe see a few people in the 1910 later, maybe depending on timing. So yeah.
Excellent. Let's just go through some head-to-head stats before we close out the show. And look, this is some stats that we've got for you in terms of how we've done against them recently. Our record shows that of the 8 meetings that they've had recently, Bournemouth have won twice, Preston 3 times, and there have been 3 draws as well. Loads more stats to be had on footystats.org if you want to check them out. But look, I've got a feeling that Bournemouth are gonna win this one tonight. Steve Connor is saying DC is buzzing at the moment. You'll love it. Let's get the atmosphere absolutely rocking tonight. Ashley saying it's the strongest Cherries team for years. Got strength in depth too. And Dave Watkins is here. Hi, Dave. You're okay, mate. Have to agree with that lineup. Keep getting points when we are on form. Benjamin's here as well. Wow. First time back to Dean Court in 2 years. Can't wait to be back. You know what? I've got a feeling that Up the Cherries in all departments on Twitter. I can't remember what his username is at the moment, but he's a regular tweeter. But I know him in person, but I'll keep the anonymity. But he's coming as well for the first time in 2 years. So, it's nice to see some familiar faces coming back, and it should be a huge game. Whereabouts are you sitting tonight, mate?
I'll be in my normal block in the Tem at Dougal stand. So yeah, no, I'm looking forward to it. And then anyone wants a photo, now I'm getting as famous as Tom Jordan. Please feel free to come and say hello.
Love it. Look, no matter the defence that we play tonight, just remember that we managed to get wins at Birmingham and Nottingham Forest without Gary Cahill. So it's not all bad. Finally, quick word on the tickets for future away games. AFC Bournemouth today have announced the news that the away match at Fulham next month will now go on sale a week later than anticipated on the 10th of November. And you know what? Despite the fact that that is annoying, credit to the club for just being transparent with that news, because you know what would happen. There would be a huge backlash. You can't sort things out, etc. But at least they are providing us with that information, so we're being kept in the loop at all times. So to book your tickets for Fulham, it is going to be in 7 days' time on the 10th. We've got to talk about this guy, Morgan. I mean, bloody hell, the stuff he's doing, unbelievable. James McCaffrey, would you be able to run that many miles and cycle that many miles every single day?
To be honest with you, I get tired reading his tweets in terms of the fact that they just make me feel like his energy levels are incredible. And I think what he's done is incredible. I know David Brooks donated £200, which I thought was a great gesture from Brooks here. But I don't know if you saw on Twitter, he had a few injuries the other day, but they're all cleared up and he's back on it. And he's always busy, the guy. And I think it's really, really special what he's done. I think he's over 1,000. What is it now? 1,191 That's incredible in 72 hours, Sam?
I think it's absolutely superb what he's doing. I mean, 7 miles, I could maybe do like 5k at best, but then to cycle 19 miles, and it's all the relevance of David Brooks's shirt numbers for both Bournemouth, number 7, and also
I think considering that he drives up and down the country, which is quite tiring in terms, most people find driving quite, if you've got to cover a lot of miles. I know that trip up to Stoke was a long trip, and that was only 7-8 hours out of our day. So, fair play to James. We're all behind him. And if you can donate, I think Sam just put the details up there. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's right. It's afcbpodcast.com/DB7. That's David Brooks 7. afcbpodcast.com/DB7. I honestly think this kind of fundraiser for someone that's so close to our hearts and we want to see back out on the pitch ASAP. I mean, his target initially was £786. I think it should be 10 times that. So I'm sure that everyone will get behind him. And fair play to him. Morgan, it's been an absolute pleasure once again to have you on the show. Thank you very much, mate. Yeah, no worries at all. See you soon. Looking forward to, and thank you for everyone that's been on this little vlog today as well, even on the live chat. So, we're going to be doing a sort of behind the scenes vlog, but we'll be up at the 1910 bar. Hopefully, if we get time, get some opinions before the game, during the game as well. And if you want to come on after the game as well, this little bad boy is going to be out and about as well. So, because it's going to be pitch black outside Dean Court. We would like to get your views on. So we're just outside the 1910 bars. As soon as you exit it, look to the left where the car park entrance is. We'll be on the other side of the fence doing a quick video, which we'll get straight out on YouTube, and looking forward to having some raw reaction. Hopefully after Bournemouth get another win. Let's hope so. Morgan, appreciate it, mate. We'll see you later on.
Up the cherries.